All right, today we're going to dive into a really powerful and maybe a little counterintuitive idea from the book Profit First by Mike Michalowicz. It's a system that's all about one thing, making your business profitable, like starting from the very next time you get paid. So let's get into it. But first, let me ask you something, and I want you to be really honest. Does your business ever feel like a cash-eating monster? You know, you pour your heart, your soul, your time, your money into it, and it just seems to chew it all up and demand more, leaving you with barely anything to show for it. If that sounds familiar, trust me, you are not alone. In fact, the author has this brilliant metaphor for this whole thing. He says most entrepreneurs are basically Dr. Frankenstein. Think about it. We stitched together this incredible creation, our business, out of nothing but an idea and a ton of hard work. And at first, it's a miracle. It's alive. But then, somehow, it can turn into this uncontrollable monster that just starts consuming all our cash, all our time, and our peace of mind. So how does that even happen? How do we accidentally create these monsters? Well, it often starts with the relentless pursuit of something that sounds totally logical: growth. I mean, does this look familiar to anyone? The super early mornings, the late nights, that constant nagging worry about making payroll or paying the bills next week. You've got credit cards and loans just piling up. And maybe on the outside you look successful. You've got revenue coming in, but you know the truth. The bank accounts are basically empty. This is what it feels like to be constantly feeding that monster. And what's our natural instinct? What's our go-to solution? I just need to sell more, right? We think if we can just grow our way out of our problems, everything will be fine. But what usually happens? More sales just lead to bigger expenses, more employees, more complexity, more problems. The monster doesn't get tamed. It just gets bigger and hungrier. You know, this whole endless, stressful cycle, it actually has a name. The author calls it the entrepreneur's survival trap. It's this pattern of making crisis-driven decisions that just keeps you stuck, running in place. And this slide just lays it out so perfectly. So we're here at point A, right? We're in a crisis. We need cash now. Our big dream, our long-term vision, that's way over there at point B. But to solve today's problem, we take on a nightmare client or we run a desperate sales promotion. And if you look at the arrows, you see that a lot of those fast cash decisions are actually pulling us in the opposite direction of where we really want to go. And what fuels this trap? It's a behavior that, let's be honest, we all do. The author calls it bank balance accounting. It's simple. You log into your bank account, you see what's there, and you make spending decisions based on that number. Money in there? Great, let's pay some bills. Is it empty? Oh boy, time to panic and sell anything to anyone. It's a totally natural instinct, but it traps us in this reactive check-to-check chaos. And look, this isn't just some abstract theory. The author, Mike Michalowicz, he lived this in the most painful way you can imagine. After selling his second company, he thought he was a genius, that he had the Midas touch. But then, well, as he puts it, he lost everything. And his fall from the top was breathtakingly fast. I mean, one day he's a multimillionaire, and almost overnight he's buying a fleet of fancy cars. He starts throwing money at a dozen new businesses, thinking he can't fail. And then, within 2 years, it all came crashing down. Every single one of his investments went belly up. And the final blow came on Valentine's Day, when his accountant called to say he owed $28,000 in taxes, and he had only 10 grand left to his name. That was it. Rock bottom. That night, he's totally defeated. Totally ashamed, and he sits his family down and confesses that he's lost everything. And in the crushing silence that followed, his 9-year-old daughter gets up and leaves the room. She comes back with her little piggy bank, all the money she has in the world, and just slides it across the table to him to help. Can you imagine? That was his moment of reckoning. And then she says the words that just changed his entire world. "Daddy, we're going to make it." In that instant, he had this massive realization. His daughter understood financial security better than he did. What did she do? She saved her money, and she kept it separate in a piggy bank so she wouldn't touch it. It was the simple, profound lesson he needed to hear. So, what was the real enemy here? What was the root cause of this massive failure? He realized it wasn't just his ego. It was the fundamental accounting formula that pretty much every single business on the planet is built on. Yeah, the standard formula. Accountants call it GAAP. And sure, on paper, it's perfectly logical. But here's the problem. It's built for accountants, not for real emotional, impulsive human beings. It encourages us to see profit as a leftover, an afterthought. And this goes completely against our natural human tendency to just spend whatever money we see sitting in our bank account. So this led him to a solution that works with our human nature, not against it. And it's an incredibly simple, but absolutely powerful flip of that old formula. This is the big aha moment of the entire system. Okay, so look at this. The old way, the way we're all taught, is sales minus expenses equals profit. We sell stuff, we pay everybody else, and we just hope there's something left for us at the end. The profit first way just flips it. Sales minus profit equals expenses. Now, I know what you're thinking. The math is identical, and you're right. But from a behavioral standpoint, my gosh, it changes everything. Here's what this really means. By taking your profit out first, physically moving it to a separate account, you create a healthy constraint. You're no longer asking, hey, is there anything left for profit? Instead, you're telling your business, okay, this is what you have left to operate on. Now go be innovative, go be frugal. It completely changes how you think about every single expense. And what this does is it completely redefines profit. It's no longer some end-of-year event, some leftover you hope for. Nope. Profit becomes a habit. It is the very first bill you pay every single time money comes in. It's a non-negotiable payment to the most important person in your business, you. So we'll leave you with this to think about. Just forget the formulas and all that for a second and just ask yourself this one simple question. What would actually happen in my business and in my life if I made it a non-negotiable habit to pay myself first? What would I be forced to change, and what kind of freedom could that create?